not a lawyer, but one of the lawsuits that was previously filed against Diddy has been updated, and it now includes Sean Carter, aka Jay-Z, aka Beyonce's husband. You know I read the lawsuit, so let me give you a recap of what is being alleged in this one. So the lawsuit was filed by an Alabama woman who says that when she was 13 years old, Sean Combs and Sean Carter drugged and raped her at an after party following the 2000 Video Music Awards. The plaintiff, who was going by Jane Doe in this lawsuit, alleges that sometime around September 7th in the year 2000, when she was just 13 years old, she got dropped off near the Radio Music Hall because she wanted to attend the VMAs. So she wasn't having much luck getting into the award show, so she started speaking with some of the limo drivers who were parked around the area.
First of all, let's just stop there. A 13-year-old girl got dropped off. Usually the VMAs and things like that are pretty late in the day. So a 13-year-old got dropped off in New York City. She just got dropped off. I'm not saying this is not true or anything like that, but I'm just saying a 13-year-old just got dropped off. Who dropped her off? Who allowed this to happen? Where are her parents? Wait, I'm asking all these questions. Where are her guardians? Where are the people that watch her? Who's dropping off a 13-year-old that's roaming the streets trying to get into a concert with no ticket? And did she have a phone on her?
Tells her that he actually works for Diddy. And according to the lawsuit, he tells her that Diddy likes young girls and that she fits what he was looking for. Ciao. So this driver and this 13-year-old child arranged for her to be picked up by the driver after the show and taken to an after party that Diddy was going to be attending. So everything goes as planned. The driver picks her up. And according to the lawsuit, when she arrives to this after party, she signs what she now believes to be an NDA. And according to her, there was widespread use of things to get you intoxicated. And after accepting a drink herself, the plaintiff, who again was 13 at the time, quote, began to feel woozy and lightheaded. The plaintiff goes on to say that she goes into a room, and soon after entering into this room, Sean Combs, aka Diddy, enters the room along with defendant Sean Carter, aka Jay-Z, and a female celebrity who the lawsuit is noting as Celebrity B. Celebrity B? What's that supposed to mean? The lawsuit says that the plaintiff immediately recognized all three of these celebrities, and from this point, the suit says that Diddy threw the plaintiff toward a wall and then grabbed her again and threw her on the bed. He then, according to this lawsuit, began removing her clothing. The suit goes on to allege that the plaintiff was then held down by Sean Carter as he engaged with her, and while Combs and Celebrity B watched. The suit says that after...
There's three grown-ass adults in the room. One of them is forcing this child to do whatever they're doing, and the other two are just watching. What are y'all playing spades on the side? And then the people that's in the party, did y'all not see this 13-year-old girl at this party? Why didn't anybody say, hey, is that a 13-year-old? Hey, little girl, where your parents at? I remember when I don't know about 13, but I remember when I was young and I was in places that I wasn't supposed to be, people would constantly, hey, you look young. What are you doing here? Even if everybody is down with the freaky stuff that they on, there's not that one person that's like, hey, you shouldn't be here. You probably should go home. But instead, she winds up with a drink in her hand.
Sean Carter finished, he stepped back toward the wall, and then Diddy stepped up and began engaging with this 13-year-old child while Carter and Celebrity B watched. The suit goes on to allege that Diddy then knocked the plaintiff down and attempted to force her to engage with him in other ways. It says that she fought back, standing up quickly and punching out at the same time, hitting Diddy in the neck. As a result of her hitting him back, the lawsuit says that Diddy was a bit surprised, and that's when the plaintiff took the opportunity to grab her clothing and her shoes and run out of the room. The lawsuit says that this plaintiff then ran out, and she eventually found her way to a gas station in which a female clerk noticed her and let her use the phone. The 13-year-old then calls her father, admitting that she lied to him about her whereabouts, and she asked him to pick her up. The dad comes and picks her up, and from there, the suit says that the plaintiff fell into a deep depression, which continues to affect every facet of her life.
The only part that's a little bit confusing to me is there's three grown-ass adults in the room. In 2000, Jay-Z was 31. So let's just say everybody in this room is well endowed into their 30s. Anybody try to stop her from running out, Why would they let her run out? If they're in the middle of committing a crime and you let the person run out of the room, wouldn't you assume that they're about to tell somebody what just happened, especially if they leave mad? So like my question is, why did they let her just leave? And then my second question is, did nobody see her leaving? Did nobody see this girl with her clothes wrapped around her leaving? And nobody asked any questions? I'm not going to lie. The 2000s and down was a really weird time. Like before phones and social media and things of that nature, I feel like the world was a real different place. Like by all means, I know some crazy things that's happening nowadays on social media, OnlyFans, on all these websites. Don't get me wrong. But these are just the things that are being recorded. These are the things that's being reported. These are the things that we're reading, you know, that went viral. What about the stuff that did not go viral? Like when I see the Freaknik clips and stuff like that, I always ask myself, could this stuff have happened today? I don't think so. Too many people would have gotten exposed. So when I hear these things, I somewhat believe them because I'm like, the stuff y'all was doing was a little outrageous back in the day. I also seen another interview of Jay-Z getting interviewed. Now, this didn't seem like it was Jay-Z's fault that this was happening, but I mean, hey, he was there. Jay-Z was getting interviewed, and beside him, it was two girls engaging in each other. And I mean, they had no clothes on. And this is in an interview. Like, I mean, an actual interview. So again, me knowing that things like that was happening back in the day, I'm like, all right, what about the stuff that wasn't recorded? What about the stuff that was never reported?
She now suffers from post-traumatic stress disorder and a seizure disorder caused by stress and trauma. She has had difficulty maintaining normal relationships and lives largely withdrawn from society. And so that is why she is suing and why she has updated this lawsuit to include Jay-Z. The plaintiff's single cause of action is for violation of New York City Victims of Gender-Motivated Violence Protection Act, which is the act that a lot of these celebrity essay lawsuits have fallen under over the last year. So it's basically falling under that. A statement has already been released and posted on Roc Nation's Instagram account, which says that, quote, my lawyer received a blackmail attempt called a demand letter from a lawyer named Tony Busby. What he had calculated was the nature of these allegations and the public scrutiny would make me want to settle. No, sir. It had the opposite effect. It made me want to expose you for the fraud you are in a very public fashion. So no, I will not give you one red penny. These allegations are so heinous in nature that I implore you to file a criminal complaint, not a civil one. Whomever would commit such a crime against a minor should be locked away. Would you not agree? These alleged victims would deserve real justice if that were the case. This lawyer, who I have done a bit of research on, seems to have a pattern of these type of theatrics. I have no idea how you have come to be such a deplorable human, Mr. Busby, but I promise you I have seen your kind many times over. I'm more than prepared to deal with your type. You claim to be a Marine. Marines are known for their valor. You have neither honor nor dignity. My only heartbreak is for my family. My wife and I will have to sit our children down, one of whom is at the age where her friends will surely see the press and ask questions about the nature of these claims and explain the cruelty and greed of people. I mourn yet another loss of innocence. Children should not have to endure such at their young age. It is unfair to have to try to understand inexplicable degrees of malice meant to destroy families and human spirit. My heart and support goes out to true victims in the world who have to watch how their life story is dressed in costume for profitability by this ambulance chaser in a cheap suit. You have made a terrible error in judgment thinking that all celebrities are the same. I'm not from your world. I'm a young man who made it out of the project of Brooklyn. We don't play these type of games. We have very strict codes and honor. We protect children. You seem to exploit people for personal gain. Only your network of conspiracy theorists, fake physics, will believe the idiotic claims you have levied against me that, if not for the seriousness surrounding harm to kids, would be laughable. I look forward to showing you just how different I am. Child, I want 2024 to end so bad.
Y'all, I am torn. I don't know what to believe. On one side, I'm like, okay, so a 13-year-old girl got dropped off. That's crazy. A 13-year-old girl was at an after party with a whole bunch of adults. Nobody said anything. That's also wild. Then a 13-year-old girl fought off a grown man, ran out of the house with her clothes wrapped around her body. I read that somewhere else. Went to the closest gas station, called her dad, and nobody called the police. I guess that's where my question is. Why didn't anybody call the police? Why are we 24 years later and nobody called the police? I understand she signed an NDA. That's where things get a little bit funny, because 24 years later, or did she tell her dad what happened to her? Did she just hold this in for all these years? For this to happen to a 13-year-old, that had to be pretty traumatizing. There had to be a lot of people that knew about this. But this goes back to what I was saying before about the whole social media era. She could have possibly reported all this to the police, but it may have been suppressed. Back then, victims didn't really have a voice for real. Now they do. And celebrities are always subject to public scrutiny. With me knowing the freaky stuff that was going on back in the day, when y'all had camcorders, I can only imagine what y'all was doing when nobody was looking and nothing was being recorded. So although this story sounds crazy, I'm still torn. Like, I don't know. And then Jay-Z was really close to Diddy too. So if Diddy was doing it, I'm pretty sure he had some homies that was in on it too. And back in the day, these things was getting swept under the rug. And y'all was moving around with the same crowds. I know he wasn't doing it by himself. But anyways, comment below. What do you think? This story is crazy. It is nasty. It is everything that you could define 3 adults raping a young child. And yes, I said 3 because that woman that was watching, she is just as guilty as the 2 men that was partaking. But anyways, hey man, it's been your boy TybuggyTV. Comment below, hit that subscribe button. Wild story. Until next time, man, I'm out of here.